Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a transplant recipient talks about her concerns during this outbreak and why she is self-isolating. And we show you how one Kentucky college is helping students get their feel for their campus without stepping foot on it. And the House has passed a measure that will bring relief to Kentucky schools, which are currently closed.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is now 5:31, and thank you for joining me on Mountain News This Morning. I am Lacey Roberts, and today is Friday. It feels like the week has just been trekking along, and it's March 20th, the first full day of spring, Brandon, and it's actually starting to feel like it. So I know that's just a little bit of relief for people out there when they step outside.
Yeah, I was looking at the long-range models this morning, and it doesn't look like we see any more major cool downs all the way through the 1st of April. So that's some good news if you're ready for this time of the year. If you're Will Puckett and you still want to see a shot of snow, man, probably not looking too good for you, Will. I know he's probably out there watching somewhere this morning. Let's see what's going on as we head across our area. We're seeing those waves of rain starting to build in there, and you see that one out near Lake Cumberland. I-75 is starting to kind of push to the north and east, so that's going to cover all of us up here in a little bit. But you see on live Pinpoint Doppler radar, the heavier bands are just starting to get into our area. Pulaski County, Rockcastle County, be careful on the roads out there this morning. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s area-wide. The coolest spot in the region is Jonesville at 64. 73 in Jacksboro, one of the warmer spots there. Your day planner taking us back up into the low 70s this afternoon, but those chances for showers and storms will be around throughout the day as the cold front makes its trek through the region, getting out of here later tonight. We'll have the extended forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Lacey?
Thank you, Brandon. And for many people, this is a time of uncertainty, but for some, like those who've had organ transplant, that uncertainty has heightened. Crystal Combs is what you call immunosuppressant. Near the end of 2016, Crystal received an organ donation after losing all of her small intestine and most of her large intestine. Just last weekend, she moved into a house in Hyman with her boyfriend and his 2 kids. Now she has been on edge, and cleaning and disinfecting has been something they do not take lightly. There's not a lot of research currently about how much COVID-19 could impact her, but in talking with her coordinator in Miami, where she received the transplant, she was told travel was out of the question with a weak immune system.
If I catch this, it's more than likely going to be a death sentence. So my family knows it's going to be a death sentence. And it's scary for everybody, including me. So, I mean, they're trying their best to be as safe as they possibly can, but, I mean, there's like a 2-week incubation period.
Crystal says she wants to make sure people do not hoard items. She needed disinfectants, something crucial to her, and most shelves were empty, and she asked that you take only what you need and don't stockpile. A message she wants to get out is to take care of those who are elderly, but also remember your organ recipients and those other folks that are immunosuppressed. With at least 47 cases, here's a look at what those patients are and where they are in Kentucky. You can see the majority of those cases are in the central part of the state. And again, our first case in southern Kentucky. We have 1 case in Pulaski County. As spring is now upon us, colleges are usually preparing for high school seniors to come on their campuses to visit, but COVID-19 is putting a halt to those visits. Alice Lloyd College knew they had to figure out how to still be able to recruit those incoming freshmen. They started brainstorming ideas and decided to start offering virtual visits. They wanted to offer a glimmer of hope to all the seniors in high school who feel like everything is just being taken away from them.
We have everything set up in place for them to actually see a dorm presentation, go through a virtual tour through campus, talk to financial aid one-on-one, and then of course talk to us and do the interview process. And our interview is very informal, but we just want to get to know them.
To schedule a virtual visit, you can call Alice Lloyd College at 606-368-6146. And China King Buffet in Hazard is temporarily closing due to the COVID-19 outbreak. People lined up to take home fresh vegetables the business had on hand that owners did not want to go to waste. They gave them away to anyone in the community who wanted to stop by. The restaurant will be open when the governor lifts the mandatory ban. And to help restaurants in Hazard and Perry County that are choosing to stay open, the city of Hazard, with the help from the Hazard County Perry Hazard Perry County Chamber of Commerce is offering a restaurant bingo. The concept is pretty simple. All you have to do is take one of those mini bingo cards that are on the City of Hazard's Facebook page and order curbside delivery or carryout. You can win up to $40 in gift cards. Just keep the receipts, and when you think you have bingo, message the Facebook page. Hazard's downtown coordinator says the idea came from a Facebook post, and they are looking for other ways to help local businesses.
But we are looking for ways to offer this in other ways, and bingo may not be the right game to play for other small businesses, since so many of them are possibly going to be selling online or just closing down for a little while. So we're trying to figure out the best way to do that. But we do want to support all of the small businesses in Hazard, not just the restaurants.
Other counties have chipped in as well, and they will keep playing until all the prizes have been claimed. April 26th to May 3rd, nearly 3,000 people would normally be expected to head to Knott County for the annual spring trail ride. But with the coronavirus outbreak currently suspending and canceling many events around the country, WYMT's Tommy Poole learned the county could miss out on a huge economic boost.
In the mountains, this virus that's going around, we're really faced with a tough decision for our area.
An event hangs in the balance.
We're approaching the Knott County Spring Trail Ride, and it's one of the biggest events our county has.
With the coronavirus spreading across the Commonwealth.
Maybe somebody out west and they bring it, and you're putting that on your people here.
Knott County Spring Trail Ride brings 2,000 to 3,000 people to the mountains for 8 days.
The economic impact that it has on our area is roughly $500,000 to $1 million, so it's a big deal.
Featuring camping, music, and horse riding.
You get 2,000, 3,000 people up on this mountain, and it's something everybody looks forward to.
As of now,
we're really just waiting to see how everything's going to unfold. Where everything's kind of went down for 2 weeks, there's still the possibility that this could happen. We're trying to stay optimistic.
Thursday of next week, the board will meet to decide on a final decision.
We really do want to have this event. It's one of our biggest things, but we have to do what's best for the people.
For now, torn on what to do. In Knott County, Tommy Poole, WYMT Mountain News.
Hall said that if the spring ride was to be canceled, instead of making it up, the tourism department would use the funds for the fall ride and make it even bigger. A decision is expected to be made next Thursday. And the Perry County Fiscal Court urged everyone to use social distancing in the Perry County Park. They say if there continues to be social gatherings of more than 5 people, they will lock the gates, remove basketball goals, and whatever it takes to prevent COVID-19 from spreading here. They still urge people to use the park for a break, but to do so responsibly. And many families plan to travel this week, but closings in every state are putting a few more bumps in the road. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to one family that after taking a step back are appreciative for a change in pace.
For many families, spring break is the week they look forward to all year. One of those, the Gravitt family.
Well, we started planning this trip back in January to go up to see Noah's Ark. And then everything started falling apart.
They booked rooms, scheduled all their visits, but many of those stops are now closed.
So here we are.
Getting to the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park a little earlier than planned. Like the other national parks?
Like all other national parks, Cumberland Gap National Historical Park indeed has modifications to our operations.
The Visitor Center and Campground are closed down too, but luckily, the trails and overlooks waiting to be seen.
As folks are on the trails, I think they're taking a tad bit more time to really look at nature and see what the earth has to offer us, and that this is an opportunity for the entire world to come together.
It's like we are getting to see the nature and the beauty that God has given us that we have just taken for granted and passed by for so long.
Making their inconveniences seem small. In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you do end up going to the park, the Pinnacle Overlook and the trails are still open. Rangers just want you to stress the continued social distancing while you are at the park. And some of the people impacted by new restrictions are daycare workers. Today is the last day that those facilities can open for the foreseeable future in Kentucky. Earlier this week, Governor Beshear ordered daycares to close by the end of business Friday. COVID-19 has spread to more than 140 counties, but wherever it goes, the youngest seem not to be affected much at all. No one really knows exactly why children seem to appear less affected. One theory is that their immune system is still developing, so they are shielding from the dangerous immune response if they do get the virus. Another theory of why the young are so unaffected by COVID-19 is that many children seem to always have some type of sniffle, cough, or congestion.
When children have actually been asymptomatic, they've had no symptoms, or if they do have symptoms, it's just kind of like a runny nose, a cough, and almost like a common cold, and then it goes away in a couple of days.
Understanding why children are not affected as severely could be more than just a conversation piece. Maybe it could help create a theory or drug to treat the response to the older population and chronically ill face when being infected by that virus. Either way, it's worth repeating. Remember, the spread can be slowed and the curve of the disease leveled by the practice of social distancing. The Kentucky Senate passed a state budget last night. The bill is directed towards teachers, withholding $1.13 billion in pension funding and dropping the $2,000 pay raise. In his coronavirus news conference yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear accused senators of taking advantage of the crisis. Previous legislation addressing the teachers' pension caused protests in Frankfort, but the state capitol is closed due to the coronavirus outbreak. Committees in the House and Senate will negotiate the bill before it can be approved. And the House has passed a measure that will bring relief to Kentucky schools. The bill would allow the Commissioner of Education to waive required hours not met by June 12th. It will also allow virtual schooling to count towards mandated hours. Included is also 30 days of emergency leave for staff for COVID-19 concerns. Schools will also be reimbursed for any meals given out during the time that schools are closed. And later, they may only play doctors and firefighters on TV, but the supplies and medical dramas are real, and some shows are donating them to emergency services in need.
Some stronger storms are possible for some at times today. I'll tell you where and when the best chances are to see them in 3 minutes.